More than 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls every year, and millions more live with legs that feel heavy, tight, cold, swollen, or tired by the end of the day. But here's the surprising part. Better leg circulation after 70 is often not about buying an expensive machine, not about doing a punishing workout, and not even about standing more. In many cases, it comes down to waking up one simple pump in your lower legs that may be half asleep right now. And if that pump is not working well, you can walk around thinking it is just aging, when really your body is asking for one very basic kind of movement. If your calves cramp when you move, if your ankles puff up by evening, if your feet feel colder than they used to, or if your legs simply feel weak and unsteady, stay with me. Because the one exercise vascular specialists keep coming back to is so simple that many people dismiss it. And that is exactly why they miss how powerful it can be. Mayo Clinic notes that regular exercise helps improve blood flow to the arms and legs, especially in people with peripheral artery disease, which means narrowed arteries that reduce blood flow to the legs. Cleveland Clinic explains that your calf muscles act like a kind of second heart. Every time they contract, they help push blood back up toward your chest against gravity. That means this is not a trend, not folklore, and not wishful thinking. This is basic circulation science in plain English. Your legs need movement to move blood well. And if this channel helps turn confusing health advice into simple, calming steps you can actually use, take a second to subscribe. It really does help this message reach more older adults who need it. And while you are here, tell me your age and where you are watching from. I always love seeing how many people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond are taking charge of their health together. So what is the one exercise? Walking. Not fancy walking, not power walking, not marathon walking, just steady, comfortable, circulation-friendly walking done the right way. That may sound almost too simple. You may be thinking, that is it? After all that buildup, just walking? Yes. But most people are not using walking in the way that helps circulation the most after 70. They either do too much at once, too little too often, or they shuffle through it without ever really waking up the calf pump that makes walking so valuable in the first place. Here is why walking matters so much. Your blood has to travel down into your legs, then back up again. Going down is easy. Coming back up is harder because gravity is pulling the other way. Your veins, which are the blood vessels that carry blood back to the heart, have tiny one-way valves inside them. Think of them like little doors that should open upward and close to stop blood from falling backward. But those doors need help, and that help comes from the calf muscles. When you walk, your calf muscles squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. That action works like a hand pressing on a tube of toothpaste from the bottom up. It helps move blood upward instead of letting it pool in the lower legs. The first big point is this. Walking works because it turns your calves back on. The surprising fact is that your calf muscles are often called the second heart for a reason. When they contract, they help blood upward. When they stay still for long periods, blood can linger in the legs, pressure can build, and the legs can feel heavy or swollen. Most people think circulation is only about the heart, but the heart is not the whole story. If the pump in your lower legs is sluggish, your circulation can feel sluggish too. The mistake many people make is thinking that standing counts as circulation exercise. It does not work the same way. Standing still is not the same as walking. In fact, vein specialists often warn that standing in one place for long periods can be hard on the veins because the calf pump is not doing much. It is like turning the engine on in your car but never pressing the gas pedal. The system is technically on, but it is not moving the way it should. The fix is wonderfully simple. Walk in a way that lets your calf muscles rhythmically squeeze and release. That means a comfortable pace, natural steps, and enough time for the legs to warm up. You do not need to huff and puff. You do not need to impress anybody. You just need to move in a steady way that tells your legs, wake up, we are pumping now. Picture a man named Robert, age 76. He thought he was helping with circulation because he spent half the day on his feet in the garage. But by dinner, his ankles were swollen and his calves felt tight. What changed things was not more standing. It was a few gentle walking laps through the house and driveway spread through the day. Same legs, same age, different kind of movement. Now let's go deeper, because the second point is where many older adults lose the benefit without realizing it. Frequency matters more than heroics. The fact that surprises many people is that one long walk does not erase 10 hours of stillness very well. Your circulation likes regular reminders. It likes repeated signals. Think of your calf pump like a porch light with a weak switch. If you only flip it once a day, the house stays dark for long stretches. Turning it on at the right time, everything works better. Most people make the mistake of saving all their movement for one moment. They sit for a long time, then say, I will make up for it later. Or they walk once in the morning and then stay planted for the rest of the day. That is better than nothing, but it is not ideal for leg circulation. The better fix is to break up stillness. If you watch TV, stand up during a break and take a short loop through the room. If you talk on the phone, pace gently while you talk. If you are reading, get up after a while and walk to the kitchen, the hallway, or the porch. These short, easy walks keep the calf pump from going silent for hours. And here is a debate for the comments, because I know this one splits people. Do you think one longer walk is better, or do several short walks win after 70? I have a feeling half of you will swear by the long walk, and the other half will say the mini walks changed everything. Tell me which side you are on. The third point is something nobody talks about, and yet it changes whether walking actually helps your circulation or just looks like walking. You need to use your ankle. The surprising truth is that a stiff, shuffling step does not squeeze the calf pump, as well as a step that rolls through the foot. That does not mean you need a dramatic stride. It just means you want your foot to land and press off gently, rather than slide forward like a broom across the floor. Here is the why. Your ankle is part of the pump. When it bends and moves, the calf muscles work more fully. When it stays rigid, the muscle pump can stay half asleep. A good analogy is a soap dispenser. If you press the pump all the way, soap comes out. If you barely tap the top, almost nothing happens. A stiff ankle is the weak tap. A smooth step is the full press. The common mistake is the safety shuffle. Many older adults get cautious, which is understandable. They shorten the step, lock the ankle, and almost glide forward. It feels safer, but sometimes it actually leaves the calf underused and the body less steady. The fix is to think of 3 soft words as you walk. Heel, push. Heel, roll, push. Let the heel touch. Let the foot roll forward. Let the big toe side of the foot help you finish the step. Not hard, not forced, just natural. If you need support, walk near a counter, along a hallway, or outdoors with a cane or walker, if your doctor has advised Safe walking always comes first. A woman named Gloria, age 81, once said her walks felt because her legs still felt heavy afterward. When she paid attention to her ankle motion instead of just the distance, the walks felt smoother and her lower legs felt less tight by evening. It was not a miracle, it was mechanics. Small change, better pump. The fourth point may be the most important for anyone who says, I cannot walk much, so maybe this advice is not for me. If you cannot take a walk right away, do the closest thing to a walking step. This is where toe raises, heel raises, and ankle pumps come in. Toe raises simply mean lifting the front of the foot. Heel raises mean lifting the heels while holding on to something steady. Ankle pumps mean flexing the foot up
These
and
are not
down.
a full replacement
These are
for
not a full
walking,
replacement
but they
for
are like a
walking,
backup
but they are like
generator
a
when the
backup
main
generator when the main
available.
power is not
The simple
available.
fact is that
The simple
vascular
fact is
doctors
that
often
vascular
recommend
doctors
foot and
often
calf
recommend
movement
foot and
when you are
calf
stuck
movement
sitting
when
or
you are
standing.
stuck sitting or
Why?
standing.
Because even that small motion helps wake up the calf
helps wake up the calf
Cleveland
pump.
Clinic's explanation of the second heart lines up
If the calf works,
blood moves better.
blood
If
moves
the calf
better.
stays still,
If the calf
blood
stays
can
still,
linger.
The
Blood
mistake
can linger.
people make
The mistake
is
people
thinking,
make
if
is
I cannot
thinking,
go for a
if I
proper
cannot
walk,
go for a proper
I may as
walk,
well do nothing.
I may as well
That
do
is
nothing.
not true.
That is not
A few
true.
controlled calf
A few
movements
controlled
while
calf
holding
movements
while holding the kitchen counter are not nothing. Flexing your ankles in a chair while the kettle boils is not nothing. Rising up gently onto the balls of your feet and lowering back down with control is not nothing. These little motions are messages to your circulation. The fix is to use these mini movements as bridges. Before a walk, after a walk, during a long car ride, while brushing your teeth, while waiting for the microwave, while watching the news. Think of them as tiny deposits into your circulation account. Not glamorous, very useful. Let me give you a real-life type of example here. Elaine, age 73, had begun avoiding walks because her legs felt stiff in the first
and she was
few
afraid
minutes,
of losing balance.
and she was afraid of losing
So instead of
balance.
trying to go from
So
total
instead of trying to
stillness
go
to a
from
long
total
walk,
stillness to
she
a
started
long
with a
walk.
few gentle
She started
ankle
with a
pumps in
few
her
gentle
chair.
ankle pumps
Then a
in
few
her
heel
chair.
raises while
Then a
holding
few
the
heel
sink.
raises while
Then a
holding
slow
the sink.
walk to the mailbox.
Then a slow
and back.
walk to the mailbox.
That sequence
and back.
mattered.
That
It was like
sequence
warming
mattered.
up an old
It was
car
like
engine
warming
before
up an
driving
old
in
car
winter.
engine before
Her
driving
legs
in
did
winter.
not become 30
Her
years
legs
old
did not
again,
become 30
but
years
they
old
became
again.
more cooperative.
But they became more
and sometimes
cooperative.
that is exactly
and sometimes
the win
that
you
is
need.
exactly the
Now
win
we
you
get to the
need.
fifth point.
Now we get to
And
the
this is
fifth
where many
point.
people stop
And this is
blaming
where many
age
people
and start
stop
seeing
blaming
patterns.
age and start seeing patterns. Timing changes everything. The surprising fact is that many people say their legs feel worse after long sitting, after long standing, and late in the day. That is not random. That is pooled blood and tired muscles asking for movement. The body has rhythms. Your circulation has rhythms too. The mistake is waiting until the legs already feel full, swollen, or wooden. At that point, walking can still help, but you are playing catch up. It is like waiting until your kitchen sink is almost overflowing before you clear the drain. The better fix is to walk before the heaviness
A short walk
builds.
after you have
A
been
short
sitting.
walk after
A
you have
gentle
been
lap
sitting.
before dinner.
A gentle lap
A little
before
movement
dinner.
before the
A
evening
little
news.
movement before the
Many
evening
people
news.
also like a short
Many
walk
people
after
also
meals
like a short
because it
walk
helps the
after
whole
meals
body
because
wake
it
up,
helps the whole
including
body
the
wake
large
up,
muscles in the
including
legs
the large
that use
muscles
blood
in
and
the
sugar
legs
more
that use
efficiently.
blood and sugar
You do
more
not need to
efficiently.
turn it into a
You
workout.
do not need to turn it
You are
into a
simply
workout.
using timing
You
to
are
your
simply
advantage.
using timing to
And
your
here
advantage.
is another comment
And
question
here is
for
another
you.
comment question
Do your
for
legs
you.
feel better
Do
in
your
the
legs
morning
feel
or
better
worse
in the
by
morning
evening?
or worse
Tell me
by
below
evening?
because that
Tell me
pattern
below
says a
because
lot.
that
And I
pattern
know
says
many
a lot.
viewers reading
And
the
I know many
comments will
viewers
realize
reading
they
the
are not
comments will
alone.
realize
The
they are
sixth
not
point
alone.
is especially
The sixth
important
point
because
is especially
walking helps
important
many
because
people,
walking
but
helps
it is
many
not
people,
magic, and
but
it is not
not
the answer
magic,
to
and it is not the answer to every kind of leg pain. The fact you need to know is this. If you have peripheral artery disease, which means narrowed arteries in the legs, walking is often still recommended because it can help the muscles use oxygen better and can improve how far you can walk comfortably over time. But if your calf pain shows up every single time you walk and eases when you stop, that is not something to ignore. If one leg suddenly becomes red, hot, very swollen, or painful, that is also not something to brush off as poor circulation. That needs prompt medical attention.
The mistake many people make is one of two
Either they
extremes.
panic at every
Either
ache
they
and
panic
stop
at
moving
every
completely
ache and stop
or they
moving
push through
completely,
warning
or they
signs and
push
pretend
through warning
nothing is
signs
happening.
and pretend
Neither
nothing is
extreme
happening.
helps.
Neither
The
extreme
fix is
helps.
calm attention.
The fix is
Notice
calm
patterns.
attention.
Does
Notice
the discomfort
patterns.
improve
Does
as you
the
warm up,
discomfort
or
improve
does it
as you warm
reliably
up,
hit after
or does
a
it
certain
reliably
distance?
hit after a
Is
certain
the problem
distance?
both legs
Is
or
the
only
problem
one?
both legs
Is it
or only
heaviness
one?
and swelling by
Is it
evening,
heaviness and
or
swelling
cramping
by
with
evening,
walking that
or
stops
cramping
you?
with walking
Is
that
there
stops
sudden
you?
swelling, chest
Is there
pain,
sudden
or
swelling,
shortness of
chest
breath?
pain, or shortness
Walking
of
is
breath?
Walking is helpful for many circulation problems, but new or severe symptoms deserve a proper medical look. Think of walking like a flashlight. Sometimes it helps the problem. Sometimes it reveals the problem. Both are valuable. This is a good place for a little controversy in the comments. Do you think doctors explain circulation warning signs clearly enough, Or do too many people get told that is just aging? I have a feeling the answers are going to be strong on both sides.
About Martin.
Now let me tell you about Martin, because I think you will see yourself in parts of his story. Martin was not lazy. He was discouraged.
Was not lazy.
By late afternoon, his calves felt heavy. His calves felt heavy. His socks left marks around his ankle. He was scared that if he walked more, he might make things worse. So he did what many people do. He moved less and less. When he finally talked to his doctor, there was no miracle speech, no magic pill, no dramatic transformation. He was told something simple: move the legs more often. Use walking as medicine, but use it wisely. Start easy. Break up sitting. Let the ankles move. Use the calf pump. Martin began with very short walks inside the house. Hallway to kitchen, kitchen to front door and back. On days he felt unsure, he started with ankle pumps sitting in the chair, then rose carefully and did a few heel lifts while holding the counter, then walked. After meals, he took another easy lap instead of settling straight into the recliner. Within a few weeks, the evening heaviness was less intense, not gone, less. The marks from his socks were not as deep. He felt steadier on his first steps. Most important of all, the fear began to loosen. He realized his legs were not simply betraying him, they were responding to what he asked them to do. That is the hopeful truth I want you to hear. After 70, improvement does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like less swelling, fewer cramps, warmer feet, easier first steps, a little more trust in your body, a little more independence, and those changes matter. The seventh point is this: walking works best when you remove the everyday mistakes that quietly cancel it out. One common mistake is tight, unsupportive, or slippery footwear. If you do not feel stable, you will shorten the step and protect yourself in ways that reduce the calf pump. Another mistake is going too hard too soon. If the first walk feels miserable, many people give up. Another is sitting with the feet down for long periods after the walk, which can bring back that heavy, pooled feeling. The fix is to set yourself up to succeed. Wear shoes that feel secure. Walk where you feel safe. Use support if needed. Start sooner than your pride wants and slower than your impatience wants. If your legs tend to swell, some people also benefit from elevating the legs later in the day, meaning getting them up above heart level for a while, not just resting them on a short stool. And if your doctor has recommended compression socks, which are special snug socks that help support the veins, use them as directed. Walking and support often work better together than either one alone. Here is the analogy I want you to remember. Picture your circulation like a stream. Walking keeps the water moving. Long stillness lets it turn sluggish. Good shoes widen the path. Ankle motion helps the current. Elevation helps drain the banks. Compression, when advised, supports the channel walls. None of these replaces the stream itself, but together they make it flow better. And please hear this clearly. Walking is not a cure for every blocked artery, every vein problem, or every cause of leg pain. It will not dissolve plaque overnight. It will not reverse years of damage in a weekend. But for many older adults, it helps the body use the circulation it still has more effectively. It helps the calf pump do its job. It helps reduce the silence of stillness. And that is a very big deal. So let's make this practical. If you want one exercise for better leg circulation after 70, choose walking. Choose the kind you can repeat. Choose the kind that feels safe enough to continue tomorrow. Choose the kind that wakes up the calves instead of exhausting your spirit. Before we finish, let's go over it quickly so it sticks. Walking is the #1 exercise because every step activates the calf muscles, and those calf muscles help push blood back up toward the heart. That is why they are sometimes called your second heart. Several short walks through the day often help circulation, more than one heroic session followed by hours of sitting. Your legs like regular reminders, not long stretches of silence. Use your ankle when you walk. Think heel, roll, push. A stiff shuffle does less for the calf pump than a smooth, natural step. If you cannot take a full walk, use the backup version. ankle pumps, toe raises, and heel raises can help wake up the same system and make your next walk easier. Do not wait until the legs feel miserable. Walk before the heaviness builds. Use timing to your advantage, especially after long sitting or late in the day when the legs tend to complain. Know the difference between helpful movement and warning signs. Walking supports circulation, but sudden swelling, one-sided pain, or pain that reliably stops you every time deserves medical attention. And remove the quiet mistakes that sabotage progress. Safer shoes, better timing, steady pacing, and support from elevation or compression when your doctor recommends it can make walking work much better. Now for the part that builds trust, because it should. Talk to your doctor before making major changes, especially if you take medication, have diabetes, heart disease, peripheral artery disease, severe swelling, balance problems, or a diagnosed blood vessel condition. Natural does not always mean risk-free, and this video is for educational purposes only. If this helped you see your legs in a completely different way, subscribe now and stay with us. This channel is here to help older adults protect their independence, reduce fear, and make smarter health choices one simple step at a time. And before you go, leave me one word in the comments. Walking, if you are ready to give your calves a job again. Or stubborn, if you know you need this reminder and you are laughing because it sounds exactly like you. And watch the next video because I am going to show you the early warning signs that your leg pain may not be just aging and the simple circulation clues too many people miss until the problem gets worse. Your next step could protect far more than your legs.